Plump Goops Podcast.
Get a load of these hot takes at high stakes. Get a load of these hot takes at high stakes. Get a load of these hot takes at high stakes. Get a load of these hot takes at high stakes.
Howdy, folks, and welcome back to Hot Takes High Stakes. Hot Takes High Stakes.
Nice little
Breaks.
inflection.
A little inflection. We are, you guys are on break, right?
And every sentence with a question mark?
Yeah, this is the question episode? Yeah?
Is it?
It's up to you guys, I guess.
Sam?
Maybe.
Sam, what do you say?
Maybe. I think
You
so.
need to be a bit more decisive?
Yeah, Sam, can you just give us an answer, please? This is the questions episode. Hot Takes High Stakes is this is like Jeopardy. Every hot take that we have today has to be given in the form of a question. Thoughts?
Sure.
So we
So
present the question, like the take is a question, basically.
Yeah, like Jeopardy, like you would give a Jeopardy answer.
Okay.
Like, what is blank? But it kind of has to make sense. You can just retool whatever you have now. So yeah, that's Hot Takes High Stakes, obviously, is the podcast where we all go around the table, we send it around the horn, and we each give one hot take. And we talk about whether or not we agree with that hot take. It really goes in a lot of different directions, in a lot of different ways. Thoughts?
Thoughts?
Thoughts.
Indeed.
Thoughts.
This is our second to last episode of 2020.
Oh my goodness.
Thank the Lord.
And the episode before Christmas.
Woo!
This will come out on the
Didn't
23rd.
think we'd make it here.
Yeah, we're feeling good to be here. Do we have any warm up takes kind of related to 2020 ending or the holidays or anything like that? Just kind of topical.
I don't even know if it's a hot take to say this is the worst year I've ever had to live through. That's not a hot take, I don't think. I'm trying to think about the years
Hot
I've had
take.
to live
That's
through.
recency bias, David. That's recency
Whoa.
bias.
That I've
Hot
had to
take.
live
What do
through,
you-
Sam.
Yeah, what do you think? What do you think
I've
is
had a
worse,
memory
Sam?
for.
No, you just
A
don't
whole
remember.
year?
You
What
suppress.
whole year, Sam?
You suppress.
Let's go year by year then. If this is
Okay,
a hot take,
99.
This is the warm-up take. 99. That was a
1999.
pretty good year, right?
2000.
I mean, Bill Clinton got impeached, but that was fine. 2000, there was an Olympics. That was fine.
There's the Y2K scare. Huh?
That didn't
Yeah, but that was
do anything,
nothing
right?
compared. nothing
2000,
happened.
2001.
9/11.
2001 was a rough one. That was a rough
But,
one,
like,
right?
We're talking about a whole year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 2006. The Mavs got the finals taken from them.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's comparable, Sam. That's comparable to what's going on this year.
If you want to do sports, then it's probably 2014 when Dez caught it. That was worse for me than the Mavs losing.
Wow.
What about those Rangers World Series loss?
Yeah,
those are pretty
tough,
bad.
but I mean, still, like, if you add up all of those, they're like 1 month of.
Indeed.
They're nothing
This is
compared.
true.
I mean,
Maybe
We
Sam,
have
the
like a
only year that
9/11
would be
every
recent-
day now, Sam.
Maybe we've
had to
all
be, like-
collectively suppressed. You know? I don't know.
Sam,
I'm just
do
speculating.
you think there's been a year worse than 2020 in our
n-
lifetime?
No, but I wouldn't know,
Okay.
would I?
You lived through it.
Well, yeah, it would be the same. Are you saying for David? Like it's the
No,
worst year
just
for David?
You know, you like suppress bad memories. You know,
Mhm.
No, I
So-
understand that.
so like
Not every bad memory though.
But if you take a whole year,
no, but like the farther away you get from it, like the less you tend to remember what you want to remember. You know.
yeah, I know
Hmm.
that. I don't think
Well,
I've
yeah,
forgotten enough that would make a whole year worse than 2020.
Yeah. Well, let's
That's my
see what
take.
we
That's my
remember of
warm-up
2020. Let's see what we remember of 2020. Probably a lot.
A lot.
Well, actually,
a lot,
also,
Sam.
we
Probably
also
a lot
a lot.
of big
remember-
stuff happened.
We also won't remember a lot just because somebody decided to make bad things really normal. And so when bad
Yeah.
things happen, we don't realize the gravity of them. But maybe you're right
Yeah.
about that, Sam.
It's just like so much has happened, you
Yeah,
know, that
yeah.
that will be like list your top 5, but then there will be like 15 things worth remembering below your top 5.
Yeah,
but you only
everyone could
remember
have a
the
different
5.
top 5 and they'd all be right.
Indeed.
This is true. This is true.
But hey,
So, yeah, I mean-
2021 is going to be much better.
2021 is going to be our year. Remember when everyone was saying 2020 is going to be my year? Remember that?
What if it was
Yeah.
their year?
Then they're a bad person.
It was the CEO's year, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Ugh.
I'm sure Elon was like, 2020 will be my year.
And he was correct. Certainly was Elon's year.
You know, his New Year's
Um,
resolution was probably, I don't want to pay any more state income tax.
And he got it.
And he got it.
So yeah, that was a good little warm up there. Just thinking about how bad we're bad little boys.
We're down
Oh,
bad.
boy.
We're down
Down
bad.
bad. That's a great. I love that Twitter account. What's it called?
Dudes
Guys
who are
down bad.
Dudes who are
down
bad.
Yeah. Sam, since you remembered that little tidbit, that little fact, do you want to go first?
Sure. I thought of
Hey,
this.
remember the format. Jeopardy format.
Okay, I thought of this
True.
not 5 minutes ago.
Okay.
Instead of a school uniform, we go the other direction and replace government class with the fashion class. Class? Thoughts? As in,
Wait,
like,
what? Go,
as in,
what
like-
are you talking about?
as in, so we axe the government class, okay? Like the requirement for it. And,
Sweet.
and instead, we teach people how to, like, what are the different types of dress, how to dress, the basic rules of dress, you know?
Why do we have to axe government?
Yeah, where did that come from?
And then you just replace it, you know?
Well, couldn't it be an art
Why?
credit?
Why
This sounds like an
government?
art credit.
You learn fashion on your own. Let us learn government on our own. Why don't we?
I
well,
don't feel like people get a lot from their high school government class anyway.
that's what I was gonna say. I agree. I really have learned more about government outside of class than I have inside of class.
I do not remember a single thing I learned from that class.
I took it online and didn't pay attention at all.
Yeah.
We learned the Bill of Rights.
I
I remember that.
remember the Bill of Rights. I think.
Ooh, list them.
First Amendment, freedom of speech, press, assembly, religion.
And religion.
There's
Yeah.
a fifth. Is there a fifth one?
I think it's just 3.
No, there's a fifth because
Speech,
ACB
press,
couldn't
petition.
remember it.
Petition.
Is it, well,
Yeah,
petition and assembly.
or protest. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right to bear arms. Oh.
Mhm.
Quarters. Was it the fourth one?
I think that's the fourth one because like quarters and 4, but I'm not positive. I don't know, Sam. I don't know.
What's the third one?
You really came in
Hey,
here
I'm gonna give you
confident
hints.
saying
I'm gonna give you
I can
hints.
name the Bill of Rights.
I give you hints.
Okay. Oh, 8 is no cruel and unusual punishment.
Okay, wait.
Not in
No, go
order.
back to number 3.
Okay.
You got
What's
3
my
and
hint?
4. Basically, 3 is quartering.
Okay.
You don't
4
have to do
is-
that. 4. It has to do with like you get pulled over, cop smells weed.
Oh, unlawful search and seizure.
Yep.
Nice.
Okay, 5 is right to
Um,
stay silent.
Yeah.
Not to
Yeah,
hurt
that's-
yourself in a court of
That's
law.
one of them,
or-
right? Yeah.
Yeah. Trial without indictment. Double
5
jeopardy,
through
self-
7 are like the same thing, right? Or not the same thing, but they're all similar.
Yeah. Well, 6 is speedy trial, and then 7th is trial by jury.
8's cruel and unusual. 9 is
Rights granted in the Constitution now shall not infringe on other rights.
okay.
Oh, states. That's states, right? Or no, is that
That's
10?
10. Powers not granted in the federal government. Powers not granted to the federal government in the Constitution belong to the states.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
God.
So yeah, you did
Anyways,
poorly.
Point being,
bad.
point being,
Yeah, you did poorly.
let's just
Maybe we
ask
should
the
replace
government
government
class.
class.
Let's just ask the government class.
Okay.
I knew them all in the back of
Honestly-
my head. Like I knew those were my rights. You know.
Right.
You have so many
Good.
other rights. Besides, you have more than 10 rights.
You
I
have a
think it's
lot of
important
rights.
to learn all of those rights in government class.
Mm.
I think you're going to lose me on this because you wanted to axe government class. This is
Yeah,
really not the
what-
time to axe government.
Okay,
class.
What else
Well-
could you axe, Sam? Well, think of other things you could axe. There have to be more things.
Macroeconomics.
I agree.
Oh.
Less important than government. Far less important than government. Axe that.
There's
Do we have to act something
Algebra
to introduce
2?
fashion class?
Algebra 2.
Algebra 2. Do you think we could just jump Algebra 2?
Or we could just
think
make
so.
it, and you know how there's like a fine arts requirement and like there's like an athletics requirement? We can just make
Yes.
there a fashion requirement, you know?
I
Oh,
like that. Athletics
like-
requirement is stupid. I think we take out athletics requirement because, like, you just need to, at our high school at least, you just needed to take like 1 year of gym or PE. Like, why is that a thing? You don't get anything from that.
yeah, you
Add
only needed
fashion.
1 credit. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
insane. Just put fashion in instead.
Yeah.
So a fashion credit, but then we have like multiple different classes, different types of fashion.
Right.
That way
Yeah.
it can be
Sam, and
fulfilled in multiple ways.
Yeah.
who's teaching this fashion class? You?
No, we just hire teachers.
Okay. And like,
Easy.
is there a fashion degree that these teachers should have, or just a general education?
You know how
degree?
they hire coaches, but they're required to teach a class? Like,
Yeah.
Coaches teach fashion class.
So they'll teach fashion.
they can teach sports fashion. Whatever that
How to
entails.
design uniforms.
Yeah.
Well, Sam, I figured that in fashion class you would have like a bunch of different units.
Yeah,
like
wait.
a history
I don't-
class.
Is this a class where people are going to learn how to design clothes, like stitching and seamstressing and stuff, or are they just
No.
learning about fashion concepts?
Like how to carry oneself and like how
Almost
to
like
like
a
not-
dress for success class.
Yeah. It's like cotillion,
Ah,
but not whitewash.
Not uppity. Not uppity.
right.
Yeah.
Not that uppity shit. We don't want that uppity shit.
It's more like
right.
how to dress on a date, how to dress for an interview,
Yes.
Mm.
how to dress for the weather,
Yes.
but still
And
look
I-
fly.
But I feel like this class should give people a lot of different options because we don't want to just tell everyone to dress the same.
No,
right?
exactly. That's
So it
not
should
the
be like
point.
these are all the styles. Right.
Yeah, we
exactly.
don't
That's why I
point to
said
it correct. We're just like, here are some general guidelines people follow. But
Mhm.
always don't be afraid to explore your fashion sense.
Exactly. That's why I said it was the
Yeah.
opposite of school uniforms.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was.
This is
we finally
this is
made
good.
it back to that.
yeah. This has been a little roundabout.
I guess I was
So Sam-
confused because if this class were to get like introduced at Carroll, like we don't have a school uniform, so it would.
Correct. But it would still be good, right?
It would
still
be
a
good.
good class.
I
to
like
have.
that class idea.
Yeah.
I see that
Hmm.
being an elective that a lot of people take, as opposed to like teen leadership, where you don't have to
Teen
do much, but
leadership.
you actually get a lot from it. Because
Yeah.
teen leadership,
Yeah.
I just fell asleep every morning, or we
Yeah.
drove to Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, this sounds like a good idea, Sam. Can you name just a few of like the styles that you would be implementing? Like make this curriculum for us.
Winter weather.
Yeah.
How to dress professionally.
Mm-hmm.
Ways to express yourself. There can be like streams. So like this month, we can like break into streams. So like this stream can be like, I don't know, like different styles or like different like ways to like do things. Or if you want to learn about
Yeah.
like history or like progressive
I see.
or like I don't know.
The history of dress, you mean?
Yeah.
Like the history of what people used to wear?
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. This would be a fun class.
I'm down for that class.
I'd be interested. Because it just increases people's options, right?
Always.
At the end of the day.
That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
It could make them more worldly as well, learning about different fashion and different
True.
culture.
From around the world.
Would be a better way to teach people by putting it into a class they want to learn about.
Yeah. Wow,
So, good
Sam.
job. Good on
Taking
good
on
ya.
education.
I still think we should ask government.
What? For what? For what though?
You know, you can't just
For
add
what?
too many classes. But
Well, we're taking away the athletics requirement.
oh, ooh, I don't know about that. I think that one's pretty important.
But the way it
It's such a
works, Sam, you
useless
only
credit.
you only need one credit for it. and
Reform,
everyone who
not
doesn't want to do it just does
remove.
PE.
You know.
Sam, tell me the truth.
Didn't you
do
just say
think you
remove the
gained
government
things
class?
physically?
Wait, what?
Didn't you just
Sam,
say?
do you think Do you think we gained things physically from doing marching band for our athletics
It
requirement?
was better than nothing. It was better than nothing.
That's. I mean, it's 4 days of exercise, 5 days of exercise a week, basically.
Exercise or just standing
Activity.
still? For
There was a lot of fast walking involved
Activity.
Fast
as well. And just being
walking.
on your feet as opposed to on the couch.
Yeah.
Get the vitamin
yeah,
D.
yeah.
Very vital for me, especially.
Mm. But
Yeah.
not too much. Not too much.
Okay, Sam. You're right. Not too much.
Okay, you want to vote on mine then?
Yeah, I'll vote on yours. What's your take? Your take
Yeah,
is
give me the final
PE
take.
or government?
School district's discretion. I'll leave it at that.
That's not hot though, Sam. You got to take a stance. This is hot takes.
Government.
All right, I disagree with that.
Yeah, I disagree. Tough.
0 for 2.
So I'm trying to figure out how to form mine as a question. I think I'm going to leave it as a question I want y'all to answer before I give you the correct answer, which is my take.
Okay.
So if all like the TV competition shows, like the wipeouts and like those cupcake games and whatever.
Yeah.
Which type is the dumbest?
And then you're trying to lead
for
us
the viewer.
to
What's the dumbest type of
for the
competition show
viewer?
for the viewer on TV? Yeah.
the ones where it's like where the whole season isn't the same game. It's just like 3 people come in and then there's one winner out of that every single episode.
The correct answer is cooking shows.
Wait, no, that's false.
Okay.
The correct answer is cooking shows because, and here's why.
That's so false.
Why?
Sam.
Fine.
All right. So you got like the Titan games or like Wipeout. Those are athletic competitions. You see people complete like physical feats and beat people based on time.
Debatable.
Let's say like Project Runway. What do you mean debatable? They have the time going.
Let him finish, Sam.
Keep going.
Project Runway.
Well, Sam, you can't interrupt and then say keep going.
Like Project Runway, you see people either make good or bad garments. And like The Voice, you can hear a good singer or a bad singer. But cooking shows, you are fully relying on the judges saying, yeah, that tastes good. Like the viewer doesn't get anything.
Right.
So, Sam, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'll counter you this, David. Okay.
Sam, I want to see if this is the same point that I'm going to bring up. So let's hear it.
The thing about those other shows is that cooking shows, most people can live vicariously through them. Like most people know what it's like to cook, so they can feel, oh, if I was put in that situation, I couldn't do that, but that looks really good and that was really impressive.
But the look of the food doesn't mean anything.
Respect. Whereas like
the look of the food means a little bit, David.
It means a lot.
The presentation is a little bit.
You eat with your eyes, David.
The grand scheme of eating.
Yeah.
You don't. The eyes. The look test doesn't matter as much as the taste and the smell test.
How many people know what it's like to construct a wedding dress from scratch?
I'd imagine not a lot.
But people can appreciate the wedding dress, right? Whereas most people know to a degree what it's like to cook and the various difficulties that come along with that, right?
Yeah.
But they unfortunately can only appreciate with their eyes at the end, right?
Yeah.
So they just flip where the appreciation lies.
But I'm saying that like they can't appreciate it as much as the other shows because they don't get like the final product.
It's about the process.
I see.
I mean, I guess, but again, David, they also don't see like if you're saying that are you saying that they're like learning how to cook through these shows as well?
No, I'm saying
that they're just there and feeling the pressure of the contestant.
If I see a guy whip together a 3-course meal in 45 minutes to like a degree of like skill that I know, like damn.
Yeah.
That's.
I mean, I'm not saying you can't be impressed with them and like their cooking, but the ultimate, like you don't, the winner is based off things that the viewer can't judge. The viewer can't see that or like taste the food. You can see on Project Runway a good dress versus a bad dress. But when the judges are eating food, you're just kind of like, oh, well, I hope this person wins because I liked them more, or, ooh, that food looked good. But you don't know.
I mean, to a degree, you can tell someone's a fiasco or not, you know?
But you can tell if someone's having a complete meltdown, their food doesn't get completed. But when the judges are judging the actual taste of the food, the viewers not involved.
Well, David, here's my take: is that I think that makes the shows way more suspenseful, because you're waiting. You see someone cook something, and you're like maybe someone has a mess, or maybe their food's not completely completed, and they're like, I just hope it tastes good. And then you don't know if it tastes good. Like in The Voice, you're hearing someone singing right from the start, this person's good or this person's bad. But if you're watching someone cook, you're waiting for that climactic moment. It's almost like a mystery and a reveal moment. You know what I'm saying?
I get that.
So the judge is either like, this sucks or this is good, and you're sitting there, you're like hoping that this is good. It's like watching a basketball player shoot a 3 and waiting to see if it goes in or not.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah. I just think that I've lost what I was gonna say. Oh no. It just evaporated.
That's the cardinal sin on Hot Takes High Stakes, is not remembering your point.
You're talking about the suspense, but the reveal in a singing show, you can tell if it's a good or a bad singer, but then there's 2 good singers and the reveal is the vote, which is way more suspenseful than a judge chewing food. And I think a viewer to go through and sit, I don't think there's very much suspense involved in waiting for a judge to say if food is good or not.
Is it not subjective either way, though?
Yeah, I'm not saying it is different strokes for different folks, but that's why it's a take, Sam. That's why it's a take. Everything on this show is subjective.
Please don't say what Tanner said and said this is an unpopular opinion. He once said that my opinion was unpopular, which I thought was the point.
That is the point. That's what it's. Tanner, there was a point over the summer where Tanner really struggled to know what a take was. David, I agree. There are cooking shows that are bad, and examples of this are I don't like Cupcake Wars.
I don't like Cupcake
because it's just every episode there's 4 new people and then one of them wins, and you don't get attached to any of these people. Whereas season long cooking shows like Master Chef or the Great British Baking Show are very enjoyable to me.
Oh yeah,
because you get invested in the characters and you're this is who I'm rooting for. It's just it's the same thing as I
don't think
The Voice
they're bad.
Or a Survivor.
I just think that in terms of the competition for what the viewer gets and determining it, that it's the lowest tier in that regard.
Okay. So your original take was
whether the dumbest, but I never really elaborated on what that meant.
Food competitions are the dumbest for the viewers.
Yeah, I think that is what I said.
Okay.
This is interesting. We have this every once in a while in Hot Takes High Stakes. One example comes to mind where one episode Sam was you should get your burgers with everything on it, and then in a few episodes later, Woolsey was you should get your burger with nothing on it. And then I think a certain amount of episodes ago, Rez was the Great British Baking Show is the best show on Netflix, and now David is saying that that cooking shows are the stupidest.
And I'm not saying that it could be a good show. I've never seen it, but when it comes down to judging a winner, I guess to be more specific, on the competition shows, when it comes down to base it, or for a viewer to select a winner, they almost can't, because they have none of their own experience involved in that contestant.
I'm seeing your point. I think I understand your point, and it's an interesting point for sure. Something I never thought of.
I developed this take last night. I had a different take, and I told it to my mom, and she was like, "You should run with this one." Oh yeah, you got a good point.
Little
she loves cooking shows, so
yeah. So your final take. What's your final take, David? Hit us with it.
So cooking shows, in terms of being able to determine a winner, are the worst for viewers in terms of competition shows.
You know what? It's so hard. I'm going to disagree just because I like cooking shows, I think. I like cooking shows more than an American Ninja Warrior or a Wipeout, the physical ones. I like cooking shows more than those.
Fair.
Yeah, same. I enjoy cooking shows a lot. I'll disagree, but more so on a philosophical level.
Whoa, philosophical.
Yeah.
Guys,
So
my
basically,
eye
what
has
I'm
been twitching all
gathering
episode.
is that when that guy is trying to
see it?
climb up the rope to become American Ninja Warrior, you're saying that the judge chewing the food is more suspenseful than that. Is what I got from that. So cool.
No.
No. I'll just
I'm
remember that.
saying I've never climbed a rope before.
So because you
But have
haven't, you can't
I've
feel the
cooked.
suspense of that guy with the clock winding down.
I can feel the suspense of anything. I can feel the suspense of anything. It's not like the reason I like shows isn't purely based on the suspense. I like cooking and I like watching cooking shows.
Fair.
That's just my final take on that.
Fair.
But yeah, I don't super enjoy. Wipeout has been one that like it was funny to watch, but because of the nature of it, in which like it's a new winner every episode,
Yeah.
I just wasn't a big fan of that. I like trivia shows. I like those a lot because that's very.
We all learn
Oh,
a
yeah.
little bit.
we do all learn a little bit. I think, can we all agree that trivia shows are the most participatory?
Yeah.
Contest shows.
Absolutely.
Wheel of Fortune.
Jeopardy is the best show ever.
Is Jeopardy is the what is the best
What
show
is the
ever?
best show ever?
Jeopardy is.
Oh, I guess we
Wait, so-
ruined the format.
Well, no. So the clue would be the best show ever.
And you say,
And
what
then-
is Jeopardy?
Yeah, which
And you
still
get
doesn't really make
$2,000.
sense. Oh, but it's because it's flipped.
Yeah.
I see. So the question is what is Jeopardy, and then the answer is the best show
Yeah.
ever. So they give you the
Yeah.
answer and you have to ask the question. I guess I never really put that together.
It gets confusing if you actually like sit and think about it sometimes. Like it's just passively going, like you recognize the pattern, but when you actually think about how they're asking it, it's like that is a bit confusing.
Yeah. Huh. It's one of those things where it's like kind of like the Republican Party. Like they don't want you to think too much.
Ooh.
Also, Sam, speaking of 2020, it took my boy Alex, so no year could be worse
Okay.
than that. So
Okay.
thanks.
Okay.
Who's Alex? Oh,
Trebek.
Trebek. Yeah.
Okay.
God, this is the Alex Trebek Memorial episode. That's the
my
title
guy.
of this episode.
Okay.
All right. Do you guys want to hear my take?
Do you, Sam?
Kind of.
Okay, fine.
Could not.
Here's my take. What is the worst part about eating a baked potato?
The skin?
And no, that's one of the best parts. IMO.
Okay.
If it's well cooked and it's well, like if the skin is seasoned itself, it's very nice.
Okay.
The answer is that all the toppings are on the top, and that even if you try to mix it in,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
bottom of a baked potato is very hard and unseasoned,
Yeah.
Bland?
bland. So my take is that you should eat a baked potato like a taco. But doesn't that solve all the problems of the baked potato?
Did you eat a baked potato recently?
I know Sam is a food purist, so he's going to disagree with this take.
No.
But I have not eaten a baked potato recently, but I listened to a podcast where they talked about baked potatoes and what the problem was with them, and I was thinking about it. And one day, I'll tell you this story. This is kind of my supervillain origin story here. One day, I was sitting at a restaurant. I don't know. We were there with some friends. It was like my family and then like some family friends, and I got a baked potato. And I was at the kids' table and I was talking to them and I was like, you know what? The way you eat baked potatoes is stupid. This is like years ago. And I was like, let me eat this baked potato like a taco. So I pick it up and I start eating it. And then my dad comes over and he's like, what the fuck are you doing? That is disgusting. Put that down. Eat it normally. And I was like, why? It's like a super normal way to eat it. I thought at the time. Because you can't eat the skin. So many people don't eat the skin of a baked potato. And I think that's a waste. I think that's a waste, personally.
Like cutting the crust off of bread.
Yeah, just salt it. Salt it and it's
Do
good.
something with it.
Yeah.
I'll say
yeah, what do you say?
I'm not the biggest eater of a baked potato.
Mhm.
but I'm all for our alternative ways of eating popular.
I like to hear that.
If somebody, I sometimes subscribe to putting two pieces of pizza together, eating it like that, like cheese on cheese, and then eating it like a sandwich.
Some cheese on
Right.
cheese
Oh,
action.
isn't there
It's like a calzone.
Yeah,
that's like a
what I was about to
calzone.
say. I'm not a calzone man.
Okay.
Right on
Cameron,
point.
I wouldn't call myself a food purist, but
You are.
I'm progressive in the right ways. My
In what ways? In what
Oh
ways,
my
Sam?
goodness.
In what ways are you a progressive pure food? I don't even know what it's called. A progressive foodie.
my food what would you call it? Like morality is not defined. I would say it's subjective.
What does that mean? Kind of like Kyrie answering questions.
Yeah, this is really confusing. What is food morality?
I'm open to eating it like a taco. Go for it. I just have some logistical.
Okay, what are your logistical concerns?
Do
And I
you-
think I have answers to
Do you okay? First of all, aren't baked potatoes normally too hot to grab by hand?
This is true. And to counter that, they're typically also too hot to eat right when they come out. So you have to wait anyway.
Okay.
Could also pick up with napkins.
so you just
or
wait.
something.
Second point.
Tongs.
Do you tilt the potato or tilt your head, or just go straight on like a hot dog?
You go straight on, I guess. But you could tilt the potato because the beauty of the baked potato is you can put all the toppings in and then close it.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then you're
you're
eating
not
like a
putting
sub.
enough toppings on then.
This is fair. This is fair. This is fair. Okay. Well, then you don't close it and you just get smaller potatoes.
Okay.
Because one of the problems I thought about was it's too big to all fit in your mouth.
you know, like when you eat a
But,
taco, you like tilt your head to like eat it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but the baked potato toppings are too messy. Like if you're thinking about sour cream and like shredded cheese and stuff, like obviously you want the shredded cheese to melt on,
Yeah.
but sometimes it's not quite there. Green onions, like a lot of that stuff will just like get messy on the sides of your mouth.
Yeah.
And I feel like it might be better to just bite down straight.
This podcast, was it a baked potato podcast?
What?
This
one you were
podcast you
listening
were
to.
listening to that talked about
Oh,
baked potatoes.
No, it was an episode. It's a podcast where they try to find the greatest of everything, and
Ah.
the episode was ways to prepare potatoes,
Gotcha.
and they listed baked potato last, which I can agree with. I can wrap my head around, but I was thinking about ways that you could better it and make it better because I do love a baked potato, and I think the potential is there. We just have to unlock it.
It's
And
an
I think this might be the way.
indulgence.
Did
It
someone
is.
have a similar take to that? Like the best way to prepare a certain type of food?
Probably. There have been, I mean, what are we on episode 45? So there have
Yeah.
been, dude, there have been,
Well
For some
over
reason,
100.
if you say at least 3 takes per episode, there have been, what, 135?
plus.
When you
Call it
said
150.
that,
Call
like
it
the concept of that
150.
podcast, I was like, I'm pretty sure someone has come on and said that exact thing, like the best way to make a potato. I don't remember.
Oh, well, yeah, no, Ronick did have a tier list recently of the best ways to prepare potatoes.
Yeah.
And this baked was on one of the lowest ones as well.
We're seeing consistency.
Yes. But I'm improving on that. I think honestly what this podcast could take and move forward with is like someone hears someone else's take and they're like, I agree with this. Let me take it further. You know?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That way we can, which is, I think Sam, you were on this episode where Corey was talking about a movie where the earth is reset and we rebuild society, but the rules of society are our hot takes.
No, that was Woolsey.
Oh, was that
would
Woolsey?
be
I don't know.
amazing.
Yeah.
Wouldn't
That would be
fun?
so funny.
Yeah.
We could make a
I
video.
think we could make a video based on that. We would just have to pick our best takes, or it could also just be like the hottest takes.
We should
of
make
each
it a
episode.
full-scale production value. Like we have character arcs and full
Yeah.
seasons that are like hour long. And
That would
this
be a great pod.
We watch
or a
this
great
constitution get built.
Yeah.
Back to your take, Cameron. I think going back to your childhood trauma with story.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like a context thing, like where do you eat baked potatoes? Like home, maybe at I feel like at restaurants it's like you get them at nicer restaurants. I've never gotten a baked potato at a restaurant before.
I think Outback Steakhouse specializes in baked potatoes. I could be wrong.
Okay.
I think they have good baked potatoes.
So it's just like the act of eating it like a taco could be seen as,
barbaric.
Yeah. Yeah.
Plebeian.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, when you eat tacos, you're like, you're going forward with the mindset like, oh, this is gonna be messy, and like, wings, it's like when you go to a wing restaurant, like that kind of the table manners acceptable at a wings restaurant are not acceptable at other places.
This is fair.
So I think you just have to move the context of the baked potato.
And while you were saying that, I had this great idea, a food truck where we sell baked potato sized or taco sized baked potatoes that you can eat like tacos.
So we like flatten the potatoes?
No, you wouldn't flatten the potatoes, but they would be small enough so that you could fit it all in your mouth.
Now, would hollowing out some of the potato to make a pocket for toppings be more viable?
Oh, yes.
Or does that take away too much
100%.
potato?
I think well, you could either do small, like, are you saying so that you don't have a bunch of toppings spilling out the top?
Yeah, so like when you close it, it's not like pushing them all out. They have a little place to settle.
Interesting. It would be nice to be able to close it for sure.
Just for transportation.
Yeah, true. And I am worried, a little worried about losing some of the potato itself, but it would be really cool even if we could stitch it back together and it becomes like a little hot pocket kind of stuff.
A baked potato bomb.
That's
you throw it at someone who don't know what's inside of it.
I'll take it.
You'll take it.
Yeah, well maybe that's the name of the food truck is Potato Bomb.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm telling if Mountain Men start actually making money, we become a very successful venture, we should just do all these side projects just for fun. Like try to create this baked potato truck. That would be sick. That'd be a good video too.
Once we have dummy capital,
I'm on it.
And we can just blow it.
Yeah, Sam, you'll be like our Anthony Bourdain kind of like food adventurer guy.
I'll be like your correspondent.
Yeah,
he travels all over North Texas looking for the best food in North Texas.
There's like 3 restaurants, and then
meet the over. Anthony Bourdain of Denton.
Yeah. Okay. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think?
I like it. I agree.
Yeah, I agree. As long as the logistics get figured out.
Okay. Well, I think we could figure out the logistics. It's just like the seed idea is there, right?
Yeah. We got to start with a seed.
Yeah.
That's really good to hear, guys. That's really good to hear.
He's been thinking about starting a restaurant, Sam, and this is the only item he's going to sell.
Yeah. Well, now you guys are actually contractually obligated to be my investors.
Okay. As long
as you said it was a good idea.
I call 33%.
Whoa.
Wow.
33%.
Quickly assuming that we're equal partners.
Okay. Well, that's my take. And you guys both agreed?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice. Okay. So, hottest take time. We're all going to go around and we are going to restate our hottest take, starting with me, then David, then Sam. My hottest take was that baked potatoes should be eaten like tacos.
Mine was viewers don't get as much from cooking shows as other competition shows.
Axe government, put in a fashion class.
Right. And we will vote for which take was the hottest, starting with Sam, then David, then me. In 3, 2, 1.
David.
Sam.
There you go, Sammy. Hottest take.
Huh.
What do you have to say? Give a victory speech real fast.
I wasn't expecting this, to be honest. I think it was the axe in the government part.
Yes, that's absolutely what made it very, very odd.
But I stand by it to my deathbed. So
You have to. Yeah. It's one of the rules in our new hot take society that there are no government classes and only fashion classes.
Okay.
So
What if we combine them into a fashion and fascism?
Where you learn about the history of fascism while also learning about the hip dress of the day.
Yeah.
No, the hip dress of fascism.
Yeah.
What does fascism
exactly.
dress like?
Well, fascism is more like school uniforms.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're kind of abolishing that while also teaching it.
Ooh.
Interesting. A little interesting, confusing dichotomy there.
Ooh.
All right. So thanks for listening. Subscribe to Mountain Men Vids. Subscribe to Mountain Men Games. Now over 100 subscribers.
We did it.
Pretty nice. Just rate us and review us on iTunes. How about that? Thoughts on that?
Apple Podcast.
Apple. Oh yeah, Apple Podcasts. Now Apple Podcasts.
iTunes
Spotify?
is dead.
iTunes is dead. It's dead. And yeah, you can follow us on Spotify. I don't really know what the rating system is on Spotify, but I don't know. If you enjoy the show, rate and review.
Go ahead and listen to us on both apps too.
Yeah,
That would be awesome.
we Plump Goose just started a TikTok, so go follow at a Plump Goose on TikTok. We'll post Hot Takes High Stakes highlights on there, and yeah, I think that's it. Sam, do you have anything to say before we go, Mr. Winner?
Stay safe out there.
Stay safe out there. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas, because this is the next episode before Merry Christmas. You know, all these people are so upset about people saying Happy Holidays. Just say Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, right?
That's literally what like everyone used to say. Because on like cards, it was in songs and stuff.
Just say both.
It's very
You can
normal.
still say Merry Christmas. Just say both.
Or just don't talk to people.
You
No, I
don't,
hear
you don't
Belle.
have to say anything. Huh?
Belle was just like scurrying around. I didn't know if you heard her.
Nah, I couldn't hear. We'll see if it comes through in the recording.
Ooh.
Woohoo! Okay. See you guys next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Adios.
Plump Goops Podcast.